And welcome to beautiful Missoula, Montana, here at the FCS playoffs on ABC. And the time is now to continue quarterfinal action. And for the first time ever in postseason play, the 11th seed South Dakota Coyotes out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference getting set to battle the 3 seed Grizz of Montana out of the Big Sky. Enter at your own risk, especially if you're a fan of USD in the bracket. Well, it is a harbinger of chaos. Upsets galore. North Dakota State last week. Tarleton State earlier today from 24 now down to 6 as Montana State awaits the winner of this game this afternoon here at Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula. Alongside Sam Acho, I am Roy Philpott. We are braving the great outdoors. Taylor Davis joins us on the sidelines in just one moment. And two teams with plenty of star power. This is going to be a great atmosphere and a ton of fun.
And there's already been chaos in this FCS playoff so far. South Dakota's hoping for another upset. Montana's playing with a ton of confidence.
Yeah, and we speak of that star power. It starts in the offensive backfield. A couple of running backs that really like to get after you, including LJ Phillips. He's got a chance to hit 2,000 yards rushing on the season today.
Yeah, LJ Phillips is the heartbeat of this offense. They run a lot of outside zones, so they'll handle the ball over and over and over again, attack you in the C gap, and see if you can stop it. On the other side, Eli Gilman, he's not as big or physical, but he's more of a shifty type of back. He's got quickness, he's got burst, he can make you miss in a phone booth. So different types of backs, but both focal points of the offense.
Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year is Eli Gilman, and there's more. Taylor Davis. What about Michael Wortham?
A huge piece of the puzzle, Roy, has been Michael Wortham. But Mr. Do-It-All was at one point Mr. Overlooked. No offers out of high school, just one out of JUCO, and he's become one of the most prolific players in FCS this season. You'll see him at running back. You'll see him at wide receiver. You may even see him lined up at Wildcat quarterback. He's averaging over 155 all-purpose yards per game, good for third in FCS. It's why opposing defenses will tell you, you always have to know where number 6 is.
Taylor Davis with the highlights on the package of Michael Wortham. You can do it absolutely in so many different ways. In a balmy start in Missoula, snow on the ground this time a week ago. Yeah, temperatures starting to tumble into the lower 40s. We'll start out at a robust 50 degrees. Sam, it could be much colder, but it's not.
This is about 20 degrees above the norm, and we are outside, and we, at least me, I'm happy about it.
It's not too shabby. USD won the coin toss and deferred. Grizz will get the football first. Should be a packed house. It's already gotten loud. And we're just about set, ready to go. Zeke Mata. Lefty, sidewinder getting set to kick things away. Wortham back deep. From the 1, Mr. Do Everything with a crease and a hurdle. And brought down to the 24. Now the redshirt sophomore from Hawaii, Keali'i Ayats, first team all Big Sky. And he's coming off a career performance in the win against South Dakota State a week ago. 360 yards through the air. You see his numbers on the season. Top 5 in total passing yards and in touchdown strikes. Gilman the running back, and they will motion Wortham in as a Wildcat to start. We saw this yesterday at walkthrough. No surprise, it's Wortham. Into the open space. Wortham on the move. Still on his feet, into plus territory. And what a rumble in the first play from scrimmage. The Grizz in business and a gain of 32.
Michael Wortham, number 6, is a problem still waiting to be solved. He's a former quarterback. He lines up a wide receiver. He's a kick returner. But when the ball gets in his hands, he's just very difficult to stop. He's a problem for defenses.
You see him everywhere. Play action. Ayat's been sensational in this department this year. And a pass incomplete. Brooks Davis, freshman speedster, with bracketed coverage near the goal line.
And you can already see what the game plan is going to be. Montana wants big plays all day. They started off with their Michael Wortham, their kind of do-it-all player at quarterback. Then they went for the shot down the field. Expect more explosive plays, at least attempts, as this game starts off early.
Second down, we'll take a deep breath. They'll swing it out to Wortham. Into the open space again, and another first down. Roman Tillman ushered him out of bounds. That'll move the chains.
They love getting it to Wortham in space, and the reason why is that as a kick returner, a punt returner, a former quarterback, an athlete, he's just hard to bring down. So this play could have been cut back inside, but he saw the block, he cut it outside. The first play could have been cut back inside. He has great vision and great acceleration in short areas.
Well, we thought he would get the football early and often. That has happened in a multitude of ways. Into the flats for Bohannon and the Kennesaw State transfer. Pick up a gain of 2, maybe 3. It'll be second down.
For South Dakota defensively, the mentality has to be, hey, just slow down the big plays. Just tackle in space. You know that Wortham's going to get the ball, so you have to be able to tackle whether it's him or Gilman. Don't let them get it over your head.
You know, the Grizzlies with that first-round bye as a 3 seed, a convincing win against SDSU last week here on this field. Gilman or Ayat, somebody went the wrong direction. It was a zig versus a zag on the zone read, and Ayat to the 30, and that's it. Ewell brought him down after a short pickup. Yeah,
it's going to be a busted play right here. It looks like Ayat turned the wrong way, or Gilman was lined up on the wrong side. But either way, the positive is that it was a positive play. 2 yards as opposed to 2 yards backwards.
Third down and 5. First possession of the game. Final home game of the year for the Grizzlies. Winner of this game gets Montana State next week. It's Wortham in motion. Ayat with time. He'll swing it out into the flats. Gilman straight ahead, picks up the first down. Into the red zone is Montana.
So what Keali'i Ayat does really well is getting the ball to his playmakers in space. He's going to get it to Gilman in space. Watch the block by Wortham. Just a little bit of a shoulder. Doesn't block in the back, and then Gilman does the rest. That's what makes Ayat, I would argue, elite. He doesn't try to do too much, but he has great playmakers around him.
He will check the football down when given the opportunity. That's a gain of 17 on 3rd and 5. And now it's Gilman with a crease and a path towards the 10. Quality game on first down, and Montana awfully impressive to start here, Sam.
They are, and South Dakota's looking at this and they're saying, all right, we've given up a couple big plays. We haven't been in the right position when it comes to tackling. But they still have to be able to slow down this offense, keep them out of the end zone.
Bobby Houck, his second stint as the head coach, a Montana graduate, ran track here, didn't play football. And he's appeared in 4 FCS national championship games as the head man. Is this the year he breaks through with a title? Sheen Jones. And his first touch on 2nd and 5.
Michael Wortham was at quarterback on that play just a second ago. That's what we saw yesterday at walkthrough. Wortham in the red zone at QB. He can run it, and he can also throw it.
3rd down and 1 after a gain of 4. Wortham, the transfer from Eastern Washington. And Ayat and Gilman lining up in that pistol set again. 9th play of the drive. Will be Gilman. Plunging ahead. Didn't need much. That is enough for the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Grizz. Only lost this season for Montana against its rival in the Brawl of the Wild. Bobby Houck told us this week that is a game they've moved past, and they hope that they get the rematch a week from now in Bozeman. What a scene that potentially could be. Here it's 1st and goal. Gilman with 19 touchdowns this season. And the option toss, Gilman. Well, USD had it read beautifully. Sam, it felt like for a moment after the stop by R.J. Stewart that Ayat was looking the other way with the football, and then they come back into the boundary with the option.
No, it was just by design. He wanted to look that way, to have the defense step that way, but by design, this play is meant to go to the right. Outstanding job by the corner, number 25, R.J. Stewart, escaping his block and making the tackle. They didn't get fooled by the fake.
Loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and goal. Stevie Rocker Jr. now in at running back. He's put up solid numbers in the reserve role this year. Ayat surveys. Ayat takes off. Looking towards that front pylon. And a tough collision at the 2 with Roman Tillman, who's had an active opening possession for the Coyotes defense. It'll be 3rd and goal from around the 1. Matt Walsh came crashing down as well. And the helmet came off. He will have to exit.
Yesterday, Roy, we spent a lot of time at their walkthrough, and we saw them spend so much time in the red zone. Well, this is where that time potentially can pay off.
Eli Finoti in at running back for the first time. Drew Deck in motion. Play action. Ayat towards the end zone. Tumbling down for the toss, and it's caught by Deck. The Montana native, the 5th-year senior, 4th touchdown grab of the year.
He's not the biggest, but man, he does everything right. Drew Deck is 5'9", 165, yet he finds the end zone time and time again. I talked to his wide receiver coach earlier today on the field. He said, man, the guy's just reliable to play any position on the field. He's got a quarterback who trusts him as well.
Joe Silver, the place kicker, splits the uprights. And our new score, 7-0, 8:55 to go in the first quarter.
Started with a big play early, a big play in the middle, now a big play late to Drew Deck for the score.
Dateline Music City, change of venues this year after 15 years in Frisco, the national championship football championship subdivision heads to Nashville. 7-0 Montana. 75 yards in 12 plays with Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. And Joe Silver back on the field. And this capacity crowd on its feet, and they are roaring to start in Missoula. And over the head of Braden White. Touchback means USD will get the football for the first time at their 25. And Aiden Bauman, he was the backup quarterback 3 years ago in a regular season meeting between these two. What a year he's put together, Sam. 24 touchdowns, just 6 picks. In the back end of the schedule, he has been, well, essentially turnover-free.
He's a veteran presence, 6-year senior, understands the offense, but man, he is playing in a hostile environment.
It is loud. In America is L.J. Phillips, corralled and driven backwards. Hunter Peck led the charge for the Grizz. And the TFL, that's a loss of a yard on first down.
Hunter Peck is one of the leaders of this defense, and we talked about it earlier, but if you want to stop L.J. Phillips, the leading rusher in FCS, you have to make him stop his feet. If he cuts back, that's usually a positive. If he keeps on going forward, it's going to be a long day for the Grizz.
Here comes the heat. Phillips through the A-gap. And Phillips will get all of that yardage back and a little bit more. It'll be 3rd down and 2. And you see the patient running of L.J. Phillips. Give him 9 there.
He's a tank. I mean, he's 220-plus pounds. Extremely hard to stop. But the key to stopping that stretch and outside zone is try to make him stop his feet.
Bryant went in motion. Phillips gets the handoff outside zone. And the ball popped out late, and let's see. The initial indication, a fumble recovered by Montana. Kenzel Lawyer jumped right on top of it.
So we go with that C-gap stretch to the left, outside zone. And that ball was punched out by number
Wing.
Yep, 32. Peyton Wing gets that ball out right before the knee goes down. And then Kenzel Lawler looks like he's the one who recovers it.
And I mean, right before the knee hit the hard turf down there.
People talk about turnovers like them being an accident. That's what's called a takeaway. That's by design. Punch out, strip outs, and now the offense may be going for a shot play down the field.
Montana defense has forced 20 interceptions this year. How about the fumble recovery? Finoti gets the easy pitch and catch ahead to the 25.
They feel like number 7, Michael Finoti, is the future of this program. Redshirt freshman. They're excited about him.
Sam, after a 9-yard pickup, would you be interested in taking a shot here?
Well, that last play was a shot play, but it was covered down the field, so that's why Yacht decided to do a check down. So 2nd and 1, you could just run the ball, get a first down, but I love the aggression by the offense.
Josh Gale in motion, power set. Eli Gilman will search for an open space. Running across the 25 to pick up the first. See that initial indication.
Looks like he's a little bit short, but you see it already, Roy. Eli Gilman can make you miss in a phone booth. The negative about that is that he starts going side to side, he doesn't get forward, and the defense has a 3rd and 1 opportunity.
Sam, you notice the noise level greatly reduced when Montana has the football. Titus Rohr on the field as a fullback. And a timeout called by USD. Montana with a 7-0 lead and possession on the move after the turnover as we step aside. Back in Missoula, first year for the head coach for the Coyotes, Travis Johansson. And a 10-4 record, awfully impressive to speak with. His team has bought in fully to all of his principles and what he calls the new 1099 era of collegiate athletics. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. And Johansson's goal on offense for his team to reach the 45-yard line. They'll go from there after they achieve that goal. That did not happen for the Yotes on that opening drive with a fumble by L.J. Phillips, his 3rd of the season. They often use running back, and now it's 3rd down and short, Sam. Schaefer, the lead blocker, in as a fullback. Play action, a Yacht into the flat. Schaefer corrals it. Schaefer picks up the first down. Outstanding play call for OC Brent Peace. It'll be 1st down and goal again for the Grizz.
Evan Schaefer, number 84, he's a tight end for the team, but he's the strongest player on the team. So he lined up at fullback. They faked like it was going to be a run. He was wide open in the flat. Got the 1st down.
Long back is Gilman. Play action, a Yacht Gilman. Dropped it out of bounds.
So 3rd and 1, they lined up in this formation before the timeout. Schaefer's one of the biggest guys on the team, 270. He doesn't go to block, he goes to the flat, and then that size with the hands, that combination gets that 1st down.
First team all Big Sky tight end. Just his 12th catch of the season there. It comes for big yardage and a 1st down. Now 2nd and goal. Fake it to Gilman again. Yacht off the back foot, sails it high. And the pass incomplete. Josh Gale was down there. So a couple of looks. 2 different tight ends. 2 of the last 3 plays. 3rd down and goal.
And more of what Montana has been doing has been attacking South Dakota on their edges of the defense. You've seen a lot of plays to the flat, not too much over the middle. And so I'm expecting something else to the flat as well. South Dakota should be as well.
They've utilized Gilman on the wheel. These situations, 3rd down and goal. Off the slant, incomplete, and the coverage was there on Wortham. There are no flags on the field. And in coverage was Roman Tillman. He was right on top of that play. They knew what was coming that time.
Yeah, outstanding job by number 1, Roman Tillman, the safety. That was an angle route. So Wortham started outside and angled back inside. And Tillman did a good job of not getting too handsy on the hip of Wortham. So he got a chance to tip that ball with his inside hand and not grab him with the other hand.
So here's Joe Silver. And a little bit more consistent than Ty Morrison. On the back end of the schedule, 24-yard effort from that right hash. 2 possessions, 2 scores for the Grizz. And our new score with 5:37 to go in the 1st quarter. 10-0 Montana. Back in Missoula. 10-0 our score. And a look at Mount Sentinel. 5:37 to go. 1st quarter. Notice the lack of snow here in Missoula. That's Probably not a bad thing for Travis Johansson and the Coyotes, but in terms of ball control to start, it's been all Grizz after that fumble on the third down run by L.J. Phillips, resulting now in this 10-0 advantage for Bobby Houck's team.
Now you're seeing the Montana fans extremely excited, but Travis Johansson, the South Dakota coach, on the other hand, one of his keys to victory is ball control. And so far, not so good for South Dakota. You understand it was that first drive, that fumble. Expect more of that outside zone, expect more run game, right? It's a 10-point game. The defense did a good job of slowing down, keeping the Montana offense out of the end zone. But I don't expect too much to change from an offensive perspective for South Dakota.
Grizz now with 97 points off of turnovers this season. Joe Silver, Kent State transfer, sends it to Braden White. Short of the 15, lost the handle, and we'll send you down to Taylor Davis.
Well, for quarterback Aiden Bauman, he told me this entire season wasn't one he anticipated. Last year he thought was going to be his last, but it was a semifinal loss just a few hours away in Bozeman, Montana, to Montana State that completely changed his mind. He said he went home for Christmas, felt like his career just wasn't over, so he decided to return for his 6th year of college ball. He told me a key in this game, though, don't think about that element. I can't make this one any bigger than it is.
It feels enormous right now with this crowd on its feet again. Bauman to the air. And the out pattern, Jack Martens. Head to the 15. Micah Harper brought him down. Martens' progress at the 17. That turnover by the Coyotes, their first turnover in about 2 months, going back to that opening possession. The fumble by Phillips.
And Roy, we've covered a lot of games. This is the first place I've been to where first down is loud, second down is loud. It's not even third down yet, and the crowd is after us.
Bryant in motion again. They'll fake it to Phillips. Pressure on the pass. Incomplete. They're going to keep the play alive just in case. And a touchdown awarded. The transfer from USC, Tuliaupupu, able to rip that one away. I thought the hand was coming forward in that moment, the arm with that forward motion.
Previous plays under further review.
So it looks like that arm is coming forward. Tuliaupupu, his hand does get on the ball, but quarterback Aiden Bauman, it looks like he has control of the football in his hand going forward.
In real time, it felt like that pass was incomplete. Did he have control of the ball on the release? Was the hand open?
Well, let's start with the pass rush first. There's nothing better than that type of pass rush game by Tuliaupupu. And then you see him going at that hand. He's even signaling incomplete. He thinks it's incomplete. And for me, Bauman's hand, the quarterback, looks like his hand is going forward with possession of the football. The ball doesn't seem like it's loose until the hand's already forward. Now it has to be clear and obvious, and that's what the officials are looking at. Is it clear enough and obvious enough to
After
overturn?
further review, ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It'll be third down.
The officials in that moment, of course, are taught to officiate the entire play in case it should be ruled a fumble. And now it was correctly ruled after replay review. Our replay official, Stevie Miller, and our referee today, Alex Perella, out of the CAA. It'll be third down and 5. Solo made his impression felt there for a moment on the blitz. Phillips along the right edge, and stopped shy of the first down. It'll be 4th and short, and the punt team will trot on the field for USD.
I love the adjustment offensively by South Dakota. So they saw it was a coverage where the defense was playing the pass. They changed to run. I understand that it wasn't a first down, but expect more of South Dakota offensively to try to see what Montana's in and make the right adjustment. That was the right play, just didn't get the first down.
Gain of 4 on 3rd and 5 on 4th and 1. Tyler Ebel. And Ebel sends it with a wobbler to the senior Dak, who's lassoed down quickly. After a punt of 48, Grizz will take over at their 22. The FCS playoffs continue with semifinal action next Saturday on ABC and ESPN2. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. 10-0, Montana gets the football back. Only 11 minutes in. This capacity crowd at full force to start. And remember, the winner of this game gets the Bobcats of Montana State in Bozeman next week, 4 o'clock Eastern. That kick on ABC. Ayat, more play action. The comeback route to the 30. And a nifty move going backwards is Hendricks. And he'll be stopped after a gain of 7.
It feels like Montana offensively has their foot on the gas pedal. They're playing with a little bit of tempo. They're attacking the ball downfield, even in the intermediate area. South Dakota defensively needs to try to find a way, not necessarily to get pressure on the quarterback because the ball's coming out quick, but play a little bit tighter in coverage to make Ayat's life more difficult.
Gilman motions out. Finotti straight ahead. And he'll pick up the first down easily. A wonderfully called sequence for Brent Peace and this Grizz offense. And with that last touchdown pass from Ayat, he's now tied as offensive coordinator for a single season with 30 touchdown strikes. That's not the record in a given campaign, but in the top 10 all time. Finotti, jump cut, nifty move to the 40. Gabe Hardman brought him down. Montana getting what it wants so far offensively after another gain. Chunks at a time with 5. Finotti back to the well. And this is the Montana that we've seen on film this week preparing for this game, and what we saw last week in the victory over SDSU where they scored 50 points. It's another first down, and it's a unit, Sam, that's just in complete and total control with a rhythm that reeks of physicality and explosiveness.
Well, they do it in different ways. They don't huddle often, and so they keep the same defense out on the field. They'll attack you in the flats when Michael Wortham's on the field, but then also they'll run the ball when he's not on the field.
Wortham lined up as a running back that time. Across the middle. And Mr. Do Everything with a 9-yard pickup on first down. I mean, this guy, as a quarterback, as a running back, as a kick returner, and as a wide receiver, Taylor called him Mr. Overlooked earlier this week. Nobody really wanted him out of high school. Coyotes got caught with an extra man on the field there defensively, and there comes the penalty marker. And that just speaks to what Montana can do and keeping the opposing defense out of sync.
Legal substitution. Defense. 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I think Alex Perella's a little cold down there. Sounded like it. It is getting a little chillier, shall we say.
Man, it is. But as they're on the field, specifically offensively, this no huddle is hurting South Dakota defensively. They're having trouble getting in the right alignment.
Saw that there. It's a defense that has forced a lot of turnovers this year. 9 new starters. Gilman was brought down by Chris Dixon. Second down and long. Same, it feels like it for USD. You're just trying to get to a 3rd down and long. We haven't seen that really yet so far today in this game.
Yeah, it was his quarterback, Eli, he does a great job of getting the ball out quick and not taking too many negative plays. South Dakota defensively, just play tight. They'll be able to create a 3rd and manageable.
Stevie Rocket Jr., the running back, split out wide. Yap on the slant to Josh Gale. Down to the 38. And a 4-yard pickup will make it 3rd and 6.
And as much as it seems as if all the momentum has been on Montana's side, it's still just a 10-point game. If South Dakota has a stop right here, could still be a 10-point game or maybe hold them to a field goal. So it's not too far out of hand just yet.
It's a Montana team that all time here at Wadsworth Stadium, 37-7 in postseason play. Talk about a home field advantage. Ayat wide open. 1st down, Wortham. Inside the 15. So on 3rd and 6, a monster pickup of 22, and Wortham remains down for a moment, now back on his feet.
That's the end of the 1st quarter.
So a former quarterback, he has great feel for the game. He gets behind the linebacker in the zone, and he slows down his route to find the ball and get a big-time 1st down for the do-it-all quarterback, receiver, returner.
15 minutes in, back in Missoula. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis, 10-0. Grizz leading against USD here in the quarterfinals of the FCS playoffs. And welcome to Missoula, Montana, the start of our 2nd quarter here as the FCS playoffs continue. And 10-0, Montana, the 3 seed, leading the 11 seed South Dakota Coyotes out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Grizz on the move. Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year, Eli Gilman, ushered out of bounds inside the 10. And moments ago, Taylor Davis caught up with the head coach of the Coyotes, Travis Johansson.
Now, Coach, where do you see opportunities to disrupt them offensively?
Well, we got to tackle better, number one. We're getting a little bit of pressure, but not matching as well as we need to on the back end. A couple critical mistakes have let some drives continue.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Taylor, thank you. Wortham, the Wildcat quarterback, number 6. Incredible all-purpose performer. Tried to leapfrog over the line of scrimmage on 2nd and short. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Caden Crawford chopped him down.
We went to the walkthrough for Montana yesterday, and we saw them spend an inordinate amount of time working on the red zone. And this is the 3rd time we've seen this offense in the red zone. The 1st time it was a touchdown, 2nd time a field goal. Let's see what they have in store for this 3rd trip.
10th play of the drive. Punch one in here. All of a sudden, as loud as it's been, it'll be a little louder for the Coyotes on the road. Eli Gilman's got 19 touchdowns this year. It's play action this time and broken up by R.J. Stewart. Brooks Davis, the freshman receiver, tried to spin around, and Stewart was right on top of him.
Well, this offense has a lot of confidence in their receivers. With R.J. Stewart, number 25, the corner, great job in coverage. He stays tight and just is able to get a little bit in the way of number 3, Brooks Davis, to force the incompletion.
4th down and 2. It's not 4th and goal. And the offense stays on the field. Ayat, first team all Big Sky at quarterback for the Grizz. He'll put Davis in motion. Ayat wants to throw it. Retreating. Sidewinder. Pass is caught. It's good enough for the 1st down. Blake Bohannon. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1. So on 4th and 2, they'll pick up 6.
So South Dakota defensively wanted to defend the inside. They have 4 defensive linemen, 2 outside linebackers, not enough corners and safeties. So you see Bohannon just run across the field, get all the way down to the 1-yard line on that crossing route in the low red zone.
And Mikey Munn, the converted safety on the island at corner, prevented the touchdown, but it's 1st and goal.
Now South Dakota has their goal line defense in there, a bunch of big people on the inside. Expect Montana to attack outside.
Option look, Gilman had it corralled. There's a penalty flag down to the back of the end zone. He's going to lose a couple of yards towards the 6. Niall Dickel.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 players in formation. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's a back-breaking infraction instead of 2nd and goal way back at the 6-yard line. They'll redo 1st and goal from now inside the 1.
Well, I thought it was a lot of big guys. It was just one extra guy that was able to try to get the stop. But everything we've seen from Montana has been on the outside. They're not trying to run it up the middle. They know South Dakota defensively is strong on the inside, so expect more attack in the flat.
Is it Eli Gilman time? The answer is yes. Gilman punches through his 20th touchdown of the season. .77 yards in 13 plays. The electric Eli Gilman with the honors once again. Joe Silver on. Perfect start to his afternoon. And number 46 banks it right through. 17-0 Grizz. Well, this is how we got to this point, and a big play to start with the all-purpose standout Michael Wortham. He'll find unique ways to get to the end zone and keep drives alive. And then the first touchdown to Drew Deck, the super senior, well executed.
It's been big plays down the field, but also was a fumble on the defensive side of the ball. And then Eli Gilman attacked him on the outside, but also on the inside. You need half a yard, give it to your redshirt junior to get the touchdown.
Well, we're braving the outdoor element, shall we say. Sam Acho, Roy Phillips on our broadcast position. Literally outside, Taylor Davis down on the sidelines. It's really not that cold, though. We started out at 50 degrees and may tumble into the lower 40s, but so far it's not bad.
But the atmosphere is electric. This Montana fan base, they are excited about football. Now, South Dakota, they brought their fans as well, so they're trying to get back into this game. It's going to take a long, sustained drive, and the run game still has to get going.
You're not cold, right? You're good.
My toes are cold. I went sockless. I thought it was going to be cool.
What are we doing?
Wasn't a good idea.
Not, probably not. Touchback. Coyotes will get the football back. With work to do, and Sam, they need some first downs. They need to chew up a little clock with the super senior quarterback, Aiden Bauman, in year number 6. It's been all in favor of Montana. Ball control, points, yards, you name it.
And this offense for South Dakota, they're not built to come from behind. They can do it. That's not what they want to do. They want to run the ball with a stretch and outside zone to the C gap, then have a play action off of it to their star wide receiver number 1, Lorenzo Fenner.
Here in Missoula, it's loud on first down. Phillips, I don't think so. Driven backwards, he's going to lose 2. Otlewski and Schwartz in a race to the running back.
Hayden Schwartz on the inside, number 97, just won, and he won quickly and won early. And then Otlewski, the outside linebacker, he's able to fold back on the inside as well. This defense is attacking, and they're playing aggressive. They understand the assignment. It's going to be stretching outside zone. They want to stop it before it gets started.
Bryant went in motion, back to the Weldon Phillips. He'll try to bounce it outside, and he cannot. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Keon Loud brought him down. Certainly makes sense with the start.
Montana must have been game for one play to his helmet coming
level,
on.
and this atmosphere now on 3rd and long.
And you wonder, why on 2nd and 12 or 13, why do you run the ball to set up a play action? But you have to understand, 3rd and 10, obvious pass, the crowd's going to be loud, and the pass rushers are going to try to attack.
They're built different in the Treasure State. Third and 15.
Full start. Number 74. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's the 17th false start penalty forced by this crowd in home games in Missoula this year. They keep track of it. More laundry.
We'll start. Number 68, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
I meant 18.
It's like feeding the crowd is getting louder after every false start. It's like feeding the beast. Just the more you false start, the louder that they get. Offensively, South Dakota, Aiden Bauman, 6-year senior, has to keep it calm and get the ball and not go backwards.
On third down, there's the screen. Lawler sniffed it out. 3 and out for USD.
People talk about home field advantage, and sometimes as a player, you're like, nah, it doesn't really affect you. That's if you're the home team. If you're the away team, you're feeling it. A couple false start penalties, a fumble early, 12 men on the field. And now, looks like it'll be positive field position.
Ebel on to punt. And Deck back deep to receive, and Drew Deck will watch it bounce right in front of him. And out of bounds near the 30. 17-0, 9:51 to go here in the first half. And don't forget, following our game here on ABC, the ESPN app will have the 91st annual Heisman Trophy ceremony. You got Jeremiah Love, Fernando Mendoza, Diego Pavia, Julian Sayin back in Missoula. And the mountains not covered in snow just yet, but the Grizz are covered in confidence. Yacht play action and incomplete. Racing down the field was Brooks Davis. All right, so Sam, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. What do you think happens tonight with that foursome, all certainly worthy of winning the hardware in New York City?
It's not that hot. I feel like I'm in Missoula. It's a Heisman Mendoza. Give me Fernando Mendoza. I think he's had too many Heisman moments, whether it's been the Oregon game coming back later, even that Penn State game without a star receiver. I think Fernando Mendoza wins it.
I think Jeremiah Love is the best player in college football this year, but I do expect Mendoza to claim the Heisman Trophy. And Diego Pavia, I mean, you can't say enough about his confidence, his swagger. It's a great interview on SportsCenter, Gary and Randy this morning, and you can sense that oozing out once again. And he still has one more game left to play, but Mendoza, very charismatic in his own right.
And he's been that way since New Mexico State. Remember, we called his first game at Vanderbilt. We're going to get a chance to announce their game in the bowl game. The guy plays with a ton of confidence, kind of like the guy you see on your screen right now.
Yacht has been tremendous to start. First team all Big Sky quarterback. He's joined by the offensive player of the year in the Big Sky, and Eli Gilman at running back. Let's pick your poison with all the weapons for the Grizz on offense. Comeback route incomplete to Davis. And so the Coyotes force a 3 and out. That is a badly needed stop by the South Dakota D.
The first 3 and out that we've seen from South Dakota, and now's when special teams starts to come into play. The head coach of South Dakota, Travis Johansson, he talks about field position and winning on special teams all the time. That's that third phase of football that doesn't get talked about a lot. It's a key focal point for the Coyotes.
Ty Morrison is the punter. Canyons junior college transfer. College of the Canyons. Right there in the heart of the canyon here. Hellgate Canyon, they call it in Missoula. Martens with a fair catch. And in the sunshine, clean grab. USD with a football. 8:49 to go in the first half when we come back. 17-0 our score back in beautiful Missoula, Montana, the Treasure State. 3-seed Grizz with the advantage. Well, there's form, tackling, and fundamentally sound football. Then there's the swarm we've seen by the Grizz D so far.
Yeah, Montana's been living in South Dakota's backfield, and then when they're not in the backfield, they're forcing turnovers late in the down. There's been forced fumbles, there's been quarterback hits, hurries, and pressures. They're feeding off of the energy of the crowd, and that's what's giving them such a big lead.
And how about this for a nice surprise for Coyote fans in the backfield for the first time this season? Keandre Jones-Logan, 8 months removed from a torn ACL. Here comes the pressure. Bauman, pass is nearly intercepted, and that defensive front getting more pressures. We check in again with Taylor Davis.
Well, guys, you have mentioned the atmosphere here in Missoula. It's also been a very energetic sideline, a lot of which because of this Montana defensive line. Keep in mind, this defense had 0 returning starters this season. The D-line has taken ownership to be the energy piece. Their mantra, if you're juiceless, you're useless. Sam Acho, I know you love that one.
I know, Roy. Are you juiceless right now, Roy?
Heck no.
Let's go.
And dial that one down. LJ Phillips trying to see gap again. No. Met with plenty of resistance. It is a swarming Grizzlies defense. Solo and Peyton Wing got in there. It's going to be 3rd and 10. Here comes the heat, all-out blitz. Bauman off the back foot. Man-to-man coverage and incomplete. Lorenzo Fenner was blanketed by Keon Loud. And the first time Fenner's been targeted, the leading receiver.
That quarterback, Aiden Bauman, saw it was one-on-one, so he went to his 15-touchdown guy, Lorenzo Fenner, but there was no play action on that play. And so defensively, they were able to stay in better coverage to cover the speedy receiver.
A little bit of contact deep down the field for a second there, it appeared. No flag for PI. Montana with all the momentum to start. Tyler Ebel to Drew Deck. From the 15, he got the convoy, and there's a flag. All the way back to midfield. And this one likely coming back on a push in the back.
And I don't like this call. You can hear the crowd booing. It sounds like it's going to be a block in the back, but you were taught on the punt return team to screen off a defender with your back, not your hands extended.
Illegal block in the back. Number 30, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout on the field.
So Cade Cutler is in coverage right there in the middle of your screen, and he tries to lean and get his hand off, and I don't like the call, Coach.
Inching closer to Kansas City and the national championship in volleyball. Meanwhile, in Missoula, Montana, Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Score tells the story, and the Grizz get the football back after the 55-yard punt and the penalty negating a 20-yard return. Eli Gilman will spin his way to the 25, and a good pickup on first down.
It seems as if Montana offensively is having their way. On the inside, the running game is effective. On the outside, the passing game is effective. And we've seen early on some shots downfield. So South Dakota defensively, they've played great at corner, but they need to be more stout on the inside to make Montana more one-dimensional.
LJ Phillips fumbled the first turnover since October 1. USD offense. Nodi pops it outside, he'll pick up the first down. Well, you got Gilman, you got Stevie Rocker Jr. and Finodi, three-headed monster in the backfield with a yacht who's now an experienced quarterback. And it's a lot to handle. Did we mention Michael Wortham yet?
Yeah, it's a deep running back room, but a room that really cares about each other, and they play for one another, and you can see it. They're not selfish.
Wortham, the dynamic threat at multiple positions, all-purpose player. Gabe Hardman with a tackle of Eli Gilman. It'll be 2nd and 10. Taylor, we saw Wortham early. We haven't seen him as much lately, but Montana hasn't needed him.
They call him Mr. Do-It-All, but he was overlooked majority of his career, Roy. No offers out of high school, just one offer out of JUCO. I talked to him this week. He said he doesn't resent any part of his story. It taught him how much he loves the game, and he said you need to play with gratitude if you're playing football in December.
Well, you love that perspective. His wife Marie and his daughter Malia in the house today. Wortham on cue, picks up the first. And right there on the edge of the playing surface, otherwise he's still running ahead of the 47, a gain of 16.
Michael Wortham was a former quarterback. He has a great feel for the field. Watch his patience in the route and just right behind the defender. Defender falls down and slips. But outside of that, it's great understanding of the defense.
Pinpoint precision on the toss by a yacht. Finoti, the running back. First down from the 47. It's play action. Wide open is Wortham. There he goes. Mr. Do-It-All to the house. We are not worthy of number 6 in his performance today and this season. The transfer from Eastern Washington is on fire. That reception from 53 yards out. Michael Wortham, over 1,000 yards receiving on the season. And right on cue, made us look like we knew what we were talking about there, Sam.
Overlooked, but not underappreciated. The patience, the vision, the understanding that when he's in space, you're not going to catch him. Michael Wortham, 5'9", 190, former quarterback, transfer, but he's playing with a high level of confidence.
You see the numbers, over 1,000 yards receiving, kick return, arguably the most dangerous return man in America. And on the ground, he'll do it. He can throw it too. You mentioned as a former quarterback, we've seen that at times.
Yeah, and he's talking right there. You see on your screen, it was wide receiver coach Bobby Kennedy, who was at Texas, was at Colorado, was at Stanford, has coached multiple NFL players. Yet when he talks about Wortham, it's not necessarily his size that stands out, but it's his ability. There's Bobby Kennedy. Again, he's has a relationship with Coach Houck, and it's been impressive.
You have a relationship with Coach Kennedy. He recruited you in Austin, right?
He did. Recruited me when I was a 17-year-old out of Dallas, Texas. Been close ever since.
Ty Morrison. A fair catch in the sunshine. Don't forget, coming up at 8 o'clock tonight, right here on ABC, the ESPN app, bowl season officially underway. Boise State squares off against Washington in the bucked-up LA Bowl at SoFi Stadium. All headed your way tonight. Little Mountain West versus the Big Ten. And back here in Missoula, 5:30 to go. USD desperate for a first down, desperate for points and productivity on this side of the football.
And now is the time for play action. South Dakota spent a lot of time trying to establish the run, show the run even though it hasn't worked, and try to attack Montana deep.
Bauman wants to throw it. 6-year senior finds his tight end. Twists it and turns his way to the 32. And Zach Whitty with his first catch, his 19th of the season.
And the first real positive play we've really seen from South Dakota. I'd speed it up a little bit. I understand they want to huddle and want to see what the defense is going to be in, but man, I would turn up the tempo just a bit. Now they're getting some positive momentum.
Sam, they're in search of a first down. Hasn't happened yet. Five-man front for the Grizz. LJ Phillips, there's the first down and a lot more. Phillips maintains his balance all the way to the 49-yard line. Well, that's a reason he's rushed for nearly 2,000 yards this year. Give him 17 there.
Look at, you can see the balance. You can see the confidence. That's that outside zone we talked about. He's attacking the C-gap. He cuts it back inside. He's 225 pounds, and so one shoulder bump is not going to bring LJ Phillips down.
It's the leading rusher in America, FBS, FCS. breather now. DeAndre Jones-Logan, the running back, on the end around and tumbles down. He'll lose to Peyton Wing. Well, the story for DeAndre Jones-Logan, tore his ACL 8.5 months ago. Didn't know if he would have a chance to be back this year, and it is a big-time surprise to see him on the field today. Number 7.
He's attacked the rehab process extremely hard. We were having meetings with the coaches. Even the SID said, oh, I didn't even know he was going to be back. He was shocked. And so Jones-Logan is a big-time player for this program.
After a loss of 2, Phillips drag a defender towards midfield. That was Ontluski. And a 2-yard gain makes it 3rd down.
South Dakota is committed to the run game. We're seeing it. They're down by 3 scores, yet they're still running it, but it's in order to set up the pass. Obvious passing gets a lot more difficult because the crowd and there's no disguise.
Yet to convert on 3rd down. And the crowd's going to let them know. Four-man pressure, time for Bauman. That's been rare. Pass is caught. Martens will pick up the 1st down. Well, remember, South Dakota will get the football to start the 3rd quarter. Points here could potentially be huge.
Bauman did a great job with his eyes of forcing number 32 Wing a little bit wider in that zone and getting the ball right behind him. So that's what a quarterback can do, to try to manipulate a defender without using too much of his body.
First time today, USD's been across midfield after a gain of 19. Power set with 2 tight ends. Here's Phillips against the grain. Still on his feet. Well, you talked about his contact balance this week in our crew calls. You can see that from LJ.
He's strong, he's low to the ground, and he's relentless. They keep on feeding him, and he wants to eat.
Still hungry, and a lot left to prove on the road, down 24. As we hit the 2-minute timeout. USD on the move, in desperate need of points.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
We return to Missoula. What are we doing, KC? No question about it. I see all 3 gentlemen dressed appropriately with socks back in Bristol. 2nd down and 4, LJ Phillips. I mean, that was a mistake, Sam.
It wasn't a mistake. They said it was going to be 50 degrees. We're in the shade currently. I was sweating earlier. And I got a little heater. It's not really heating.
We're not sweating right now, though, are we?
Nah, but
I mean, it's cold. Sam doing his thing.
I got the jacket on, right?
We're outside. We're braving the elements. We're here. 3rd down and 2. Movement. 3rd false start of the 1st half. And it was Krim that time. Marion Krim, transfer from Houston via UT Chattanooga.
Ball start. Number 74. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down. This foul qualifies for a 10-second runoff.
Penalty.
Clock operator, please take 10
3rd
seconds
and
off the game
7.
clock.
And the reason why it's so costly is because 3rd and 2, it's easy to get a 1st down when you're a run-first football team. You're an outside zone team. 3rd and 7, the math changes.
$19 false start penalties now this season, 3 today. 3rd and 7. Coyotes are in field goal range. It's Phillips. C-gap exchange. Across the 25. And stopped just shy of the 1st down by Wilkinson. And let's see where they mark it.
First charge timeout.
Montana, timeout call.
They're first. 30 seconds. Please put 41 seconds on the game clock.
Grizz utilize a timeout after a 5-yard gain. It'll be 4th and short.
Thank you.
Well, we'll show you the FCS bracket, the harbinger of chaos with the upsets that have gone down, including today. Tarleton State, the 4th seed, upset by Villanova in comeback fashion, 26-21. And of course, the winner of our game gets Montana State in Bozeman on ABC a week from now.
And no, North Dakota State this year, they were the #1 seed, got upset. So there's so much chaos, not just in all of college football, but specifically the FCS when it comes to this playoff.
All right, 4th down and short here. USD will go for it. You have LJ Phillips in the backfield. Is he a decoy, or do you hand it to number 24?
I would give it to him. You've trusted him so far. I'd give it to him if I'm the offense in South Dakota.
9th play of the drive. Phillips has nearly 2,000 rushing yards this season. It is Phillips over the left edge. She'll pick up the first down. Phillips still with the balance towards the goal line, and he got there for the touchdown. That's one way to do it. Well, the balance on full display from 23 yards out. His 19th touchdown of the season, and it comes in a moment where the Coyotes needed points in a big way. Well, Sam, they
ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
They chewed up the clock in the process. They're going to make sure that the ball crossed the plane before he was down.
You love the play call initially, the trust in your running back. And Phillips tries to run through the defender, and looks like he's able to cross the plane.
Remember, his hand can support him. The forearm went down. That would be different. We've seen nothing so far. The elbow came down as the ball crossed the goal line. Our rules expert, Jerry McGinn, is with us now as well. Jerry, I've seen nothing so far to indicate that should be taken off the board. What do you see?
Roy, well, the big thing is that the ruling on the field is a touchdown. And you're right. We really haven't seen anything right down the line. We don't have that. And everything that we're seeing is showing that it may be.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
That was a good stop and a good review. Nice job by replay.
Alex Perella, our referee, our replay official, Steve Miller. And an important possession for the Coyotes to have a chance to be the comeback kids on the road. They will get the football to begin the second half. That's critical. And only 34 seconds remain in the half. Montana with 2 timeouts remaining. Leyland's extra point is good. New life for Travis Johansson and the team out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. So LJ Phillips approaching 70 yards rushing after that last drive. And Sam, he will have an opportunity to reach 2,000 yards rushing, not for his career, but for this single season here today in Missoula.
Yeah, LJ Phillips didn't start the season as the starter at running back. There were some injuries, and even last year he was 3rd string, but he's taken advantage of his opportunities from Wichita, Kansas. Went to the same high school as Breece Hall. He's 3rd all-time in his high school when it comes to rushing yards. So he knows what it's like to have success individually, and now he's trying to have some of that permeate to the rest of his team when they're down by this much.
And we started these playoffs with 24 teams. We are now down to 6 after the win on the road by Villanova earlier today and the win by Montana State last night in Bozeman. Bobcats await winner of this game on ABC at 4 o'clock Eastern next weekend on Saturday. Wortham's return to the 10-yard line, and that's it. Montana is a 2-time FCS champion. You go back to 1995. Why does it have to be black and white? That doesn't seem like it should be that long ago. And of course, in 2001, the victory over Furman. And Bobby Houck, the head coach, has gotten this team into the championship game 4 times. And you wonder, is this the year where he breaks through? I talked with him yesterday at walkthrough about his 2001 campaign, and the talent on that team had 13 players that went on to at least reach the practice squad level in the NFL. 2007, they were upset by an option team in the playoffs. And this team, perhaps one of his more talented squads going back to the turn of the century. And that'll do it. Headsets are off. 24-7 is our score at the break. Coyotes will get the football to begin the second half. We get it back. Time now for the halftime report. Let's get you back to Kevin Connors, E.J. Manuel, and Roddy Jones. Gentlemen. And welcome back to the FCS playoffs on ABC. Beautiful Missoula, Montana. Here in the Treasure State, 24-7 our score as we get set to start our second half. The 3-seed Grizz leading the 11-seed Coyotes of South Dakota. The bracket, well, we started with 24, officially down to 6. UC Davis and Illinois State also getting set for their matchup after the Redbirds upset North Dakota State 1 week ago. What a comeback that was. The Coyotes will attempt something similar on the road today. They have been dominated through our first 2 quarters. The score and the total yardage tells that story as we get set for the start of our third quarter. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis joins us on the sidelines in just 1 minute. So Montana got off to a great start. The defense set the tone. Then L.J. Phillips with that breakaway run on 4th down kind of gives USD a chance.
And Montana's defense was dominant early on, forcing turnovers and trying to bottle up L.J. Phillips. But South Dakota would not relent. You could see Montana, they're blitzing linebackers. They're after the quarterback, after the running back, Phillips. But then as the game went on, and as South Dakota continued to feed L.J. Phillips, he found his way into the end zone. The ball pops out, and then later on a critical 4th down, he shows his contact balance and his strength and gets a score.
Interesting, Coyotes electing not to go for 2 there. 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions, you would have a chance. Phillips still has a chance to reach 2,000 rushing yards this season with a strong finish today on the road. And very charismatic player. Taylor talked with him at length this week, and he brings a ton of energy. They'll need more of that to begin our third quarter. Coyotes get the football first. First ever meeting in the playoffs between these two. A great rivalry between the Big Sky Conference and the Missouri Valley Football Conference at the FCS level. Taylor Davis, what did Bobby Houck have to say at halftime?
I spoke with both coaches at the half, Roy. I asked Bobby Houck, what'd you like about your offense this first half? He glanced up at the scoreboard and said, well, pretty much everything. He said, we're executing well and we've been balanced. If we continue to do that in the second half, we're tough to beat. Now, for Coach Johansson, he told me they saw something on that last drive, some things in the run game, inside zone. Expect a heavy dose of the ground attack in this second half. Defensively, he said, we had things stirred up, but we allowed an explosive on a check down. Told his defense, we have to play more sound football in the second half.
Yotes have it first. Phillips, the running back. Bauman only threw 7 passes in the first half, and Phillips will get what he can. It's a gain of 3. Keon Loud brought him down. And for the Yotes, the first 2 quarters, his first 4 drives, essentially nothing with the turnover. That last drive, the touchdown on 4th and short from 23 yards out by Phillips.
And Taylor, I love the report that you made about the inside zone. Well, we talked to the coaching staff and watched the tape. They love the outside zone, which is more an outside linebacker play to make. But the inside zone focuses more on the defensive tackles and the nose guard. So critical adjustment for the offense.
Bauman will throw it for just the 8th time. Spots his tight end yards shy of the first down. So 6-yard pickup. And Zach Whitty with his second grab makes it 3rd and 1.
The differences between those 2 plays is that in outside play, corners, outside linebackers are more involved. In inside play, inside backers are involved. And so there's a different person at the point of attack. It can confuse the defense and allow offenses to get easier first downs.
Yotes just 1 of 6 on 3rd. Phillips tumbles across The 35 to pick up the first down. It feels like Phillips is one of those backs, Sam, and I think you mentioned this to me at halftime. He gets better as the game goes into the second half and the fourth quarter.
It's almost as if he gets stronger as the game goes on, but I don't know if it's that. It might just be that the other guys get tired and worn down, and he doesn't. So he stays the same. Everyone else's levels lowered. So L.J. Phillips, as the game goes on, expect him to have larger carries, longer carries for bigger distances.
Freshman running back from Racine, Wisconsin. Carson Fletcher on the field. Bauman directing traffic, tries to float one, and the pass was intended for Lorenzo Fenner and T.J. Roush in coverage. From our broadcast position, that was tough to spot.
It felt like that was really the first real play action that we've seen. Fenner falls down in his route. He's open for a while. He falls down, and he's still able to nearly get the catch. So expect more play action. Now that the running game is finally being effective in South Dakota, that would draw up the safeties and allow the play action to be open down the field.
Only the second time today that Fenner's been targeted. Leading receiver for USD. Try Fletcher. They'll cut it back. Line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tulian Pupu brought him down, lost his helmet in the process. 3rd and 10.
It's a critical drive for South Dakota. They had that score to end the first half to get it 7-24. If they're able to score on this first possession, all of a sudden they feel the momentum will be in their favor.
Enter Washington Grizzly Stadium at your own risk. A-gap pressure picked up. Fletcher got there, and the pass is incomplete. It was at the feet of Lorenzo Fenner. And the punt team trots on the field for USD.
5, Keon Loud, outstanding job in coverage.
Loud has had himself quite a performance in this game and has helped limit the effectiveness. Play action for Aiden Bauman. Drew Deck. The punt from Ebel. Found a lane. Deck. Sunlight in front of him. And Drew Deck still on his feet to the end zone. 93 yards to the house.
So this is Sam's special sauce. You got to be special. Bobby Houck, he's the coordinator, head coach, but this is a middle return. The first return that got called back was an outside return. Drew Deck and this protection unit sets up a middle return. You show inside, you cut it back up the middle, and you find the end zone. Drew Deck is a leader of this team. Not the biggest guy, but man, he plays tough.
One thing Bobby Houck told us about Drew Deck, he brings the juice on game day and every day at practice, and a warm embrace on the sideline. Now the first punt return for a touchdown this season for the Grizz.
And I love the setup by Drew Deck. This is a middle return. It's not an outside return like before. It's a middle return, so he sets it up. The defense thinks he's going outside. He cuts it back inside, and the 5'9", 165-pounder shows off the wheels, the vision, and the decision-making.
Now Bobby Houck and Brent Peace both said he's a lovable guy and just makes things happen, not only on game day, but during practice. And now for USD, back to the drawing board with L.J. Phillips. We didn't see him those last 2 snaps of the Coyotes' previous possession. We'll see what's happening there. But you want to talk about an exchange of momentum to begin the second half. USD grabbed it right before the break, and now Montana has stolen it right back. Braden White with a hurdle and a tumble at the 18. Taylor, what are we seeing with LJ Phillips downstairs.
Definitely a disappointing scene down here on the sideline, Roy. He came off during that last drive, seemed a little off balance, maybe a little off kilter, spoke with the training staff, went and sat on the bench, had his head in his hands. He just walked off after shouting an expletive, throwing his helmet down. He just walked to the locker room with the training staff. Super disappointing, especially with some of the momentum he had been finding on the ground.
Yeah, indeed. Carson Fletcher. We saw it running back before, and now it's Reed Watkins. And Watkins will take the defense gives him. And it's not much, just a yard. FCS playoffs continue with semifinal action next Saturday on ABC and ESPN2. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. 2nd and 9. Movement on the left side of the line. Krim says it wasn't him.
Full start. Number 74. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
But it was him. 4th false start today. Number 20 this season. These home games for the Grizz and this front four imploring the crowd to get a little louder now.
They might catch that 2024 record in this game alone. 4 so far. The crowd on 1st down, 2nd down is into it. Aiden Bauman at quarterback is keeping everybody calm. The offensive line has to slow down.
This time it's Fletcher. Met hard and a tough collision after gain of 3 from TJ Roush. Well, this Montana defense awfully physical and inching closer perhaps to a rematch. Montana State this time next week in Bozeman. I'm not sure Aiden Bauman can hear himself talk. Steps up in the pocket. The dump off to Jesse Miller. And Miller will be stopped right at the 1st down line. They're going to give it to him. They're going to say that's enough to move the chains.
Safety Eli Roush, number 10, tries to make the stop, but it wasn't in time enough. Great job by quarterback Bauman, stepping up in the pocket. See the miss, and looks like it's short.
Well, that spot extremely generous. They're going to say he got there. And it's Fletcher on the cutback, and not this time. He's going to lose a yard. Tolbert and Dietrich able to get there in time.
I understand what South Dakota wants to do. You want to establish the run to try to set up the play action. But at this point in the game, you just start attacking downfield. Everyone from Montana is blitzing. You see linebackers in the backfield, defensive linemen in the backfield, eyes of safeties are in the backfield. Now's the time to show a run, play action with the ball in the belly, and then try to take a shot over the top of their heads.
Well, it's been a journey for this USD program this year. They got off to an 0-2 start. Just 2-3 through their first 5 games. Diving attempt by Fenner. And Lorenzo Fenner with his first catch will extend this drive. It's a team that went on the road last week and defeated the 6th seed Mercer 47-0. And Lorenzo Fenner a big reason why.
He's got 15 touchdowns on the season. This is more of an intermediate route. He extends to get the ball, but you have to just start targeting him just a little bit more. LJ Phillips, your star running back, is out of the game right now. So go to your next star, number 1, Lorenzo Fenner.
Gain of 18 yards. That will put him over 1,000 yards receiving this season. And the same old song and dance. False start number 5.
Full start. Number 83. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
So from the left tackle now to the tight end, Jesse Miller.
And as a defender, you love watching offensive linemen and tight ends jump off sides. You know that, number one, you're in their heads. Number two, you know the crowd will make it happen again. So there's nothing better as a player who plays defense than watching the guy who's trying to block you jump early.
This crowd has been relentless. DeAndre Jones-Logan, second carry back from the ACL. And close to the original line of scrimmage, a gain of 4. A comeback story for the ages to get him on the field today. And now without LJ Phillips, he may have to run the football a couple of more times than they anticipated.
Yeah, he tore his ACL in the spring about 8.5 months ago. And it's his first time practicing this week. And some people were surprised that he's back. It seems like he wants to be back out on the field even more.
Bauman pressure. Bauman floats it incomplete. Peyton Wing broke through. He was untouched. And Bauman was lucky to get rid of it. Let's see if they're going to think about intentional grounding here.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box. The ball made it back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down.
Great explanation by Alex Perella. 3rd and 11.
Peyton Wing, the inside linebacker, brings pressure, pretty much unblocked. Beats the freshman. And Bauman gets outside the pocket.
Here comes the heat. Bauman fires a strike. Pass is caught. And that will extend the possession and up for a 1st down.
So that's the response to all that inside linebacker pressure and the blitzing and bringing 5 and 6. South Dakota says, okay, if you're going to bring all these guys up to the line of scrimmage, I'll just throw it where they're not. And so that's why you see Tyson Bose over the middle. The only opportunity that South Dakota has, at least in the passing game, is not on the outside, haven't been as effective. It's been in the middle to replace the blitzing linebackers.
Now the big, strong-armed, left-handed quarterback, Aiden Bauman, built on play action and checkdowns this season. Hand off to Watkins. He'll find some real estate. And ahead to the 36. Gain of 9.
It's a little bit different than what we've seen from them this season. We've seen more outside zone. Runs towards the C gap, closer to the tight end. That was an inside zone. They'll run right up the A gap. So the defense has to be able to adjust to the adjustment that's showing up on tape.
Coyotes at 10-4 coming in. A victory over Drake in the 1st round, 38-17. Shutout win at Mercer last week, the 6th seed. LJ Phillips can barely watch. Banged up and on the sidelines. Reed Watkins pick up the 1st.
Watkins runs for first down.
Taylor, what are we seeing and hearing now on LJ Phillips?
He came out of the locker room in absolute tears. Roy was joined by several of his teammates over here on the bench. He will not return for the remainder of this game. He is incredibly emotional down here, and I told you guys, his interview I did with him this week was one of my favorite of the entire season. He didn't anticipate the year that he's had, was on the cusp of 2,000 yards. Like you guys mentioned, he has given his all for this team. Hate to see it in this way.
And remember, he had an ACL injury in high school that prevented him from being a higher-ranked recruit. Watkins will bust through. And inside the 30. Now, Reed Watkins doing his best LJ Phillips impersonation, the Texas transfer.
If you go back to Phillips, Taylor, you talked about your interaction with him, but just listen to the way that people talk about him, even back home. He's a beloved member of the community, not just here, but even back in Wichita, Kansas.
Micah Harper.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
Down on the field for the Grizz. Injury timeout, 2nd and 6 coming back here in Missoula for USD. 31-7, Montana leading South Dakota. Back here at Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula, Montana. And a reminder, it's V Week at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. If you're able, give now at v.org/donate. And remember, 100% of donations go directly to cancer research. Harper was helped off the field. On 2nd and 6, play action. Bauman wants it all. Has a man, some contact. And Zach Whitty was in the area along with Fenner.
This was just underthrown by quarterback Bauman. Fenner was able to win on the outside, but some of that pressure, it seems like, has been mounting up and building on South Dakota.
Trailing by 24, you have to think Coyotes will be thinking about a touchdown on this possession. They are in field goal range. And a little trickeration, a toss back to Bryant. And the speedster with a twist and a turn. Still on his feet. Has enough yards for the first down. And where has that been today? The explosive Tanell Bryant, the Arkansas State transfer.
Yeah, 5'7", 170. He's got up to 23 miles per hour when it comes to the GPS, so he's got true speed. More of a gadget guy, side to side, you're seeing it show up.
It's a fun gadget. 14th play of the drive coming up. Coyotes got to go. Bauman floats it incomplete. Heavy pressure. And Prince Ford was right in the kitchen before Bauman got rid of it.
The cornerback blitz by Ford. We haven't seen a lot of corner blitzes. We've seen inside linebacker blitzes, but that's a perfectly timed pressure by Ford.
And he certainly was still in the tackle box. Did the football get back to the line of scrimmage? There's the flag.
Potential grounding. Number 2, offense. Lost it down to spot of the foul. 2nd down.
And it's a good call by this veteran officiating crew led by Alex Perella.
Frustrated because he feels like, man, my tight end was in the area, but there was really no receiver in the area, no pass catcher in the area, and he was inside the pocket. That's why that intentional grounding was called.
So on 2nd and 19, after the penalty. Watkins swallowed up after a gain of a yard. Sam, are you thinking, can you still kick a field goal down by 24 points?
I'm thinking, why run that play on 2nd and 19? Like, run a screen, run something more down the field. I understand that you're using the clock this drive, but you don't want to be in a 3rd and 18 or 19. So I think you got to be more aggressive in the play calling point blank period.
It's an 8-minute drive facing 3rd and 18 from the 29. Power set, handoff to Fletcher. And Fletcher to the 20. He'll be stacked up there. So an interesting call. It would seem to indicate more manageable 4th down. And no sign of either kicker, Will Leyland or Zeke Mata.
Well, we did see number 9, Tanell Bryant, the speedster who got the first down last time, get back on the field. So I wonder if they'll take a play to him or if they'll go to number 1.
It's 4th and loud. Bauman lofts it. Fenner spinning it incomplete. Right at that front pylon. Lawler was in coverage.
Time on the field.
And right on top of him. And it's a turnover on downs.
Kenzel Lawler stays in phase, extends his hands, number 8 for Montana, with a critical 4th down stop.
Well, Sam, if you think about it, if a little Michael Wortham is good, more is better already. Over 110 yards receiving, 32 more yards on the ground. He's got the touchdown, and old number 6 is getting it done.
He does it all. He's a former quarterback, so he lines up in the Wildcat. He's a kick returner. He's a wide receiver. He can do anything you ask him to do.
The versatile one. Now over 1,000 yards receiving on the season. And he'll get the football to start the first snap from scrimmage for Montana here in the third quarter. And Taylor's got more on Mr. Wortham.
Yeah, guys, he's actually spent time at all of those positions except wide receiver prior to being here. He told me that was his hardest transition. He overthought his routes too much, something that doesn't really translate when you look at his numbers this season.
No, not at all. Over 1,000 yards through the air. Play action, a yacht, and Montana not taking its foot off the gas. Wortham will add to the tally. You know, it's interesting, Bobby Hauck said this week, he was asked the question, today is the first time network television has been here for a playoff game. And he said, he was asked, how big of a deal is that? He goes, I don't care what channel we're playing on and if we're televised at all. I just want people to show up and we want to play well. You appreciate the perspective. He is dialed in to what's happening on the field.
People have showed up and they are playing extremely well. It's a credit to the offensive line as well.
It's a big deal to play on ABC. Gilman spun down at the 45. And on first down, an 8-yard gain.
And Montana has no issues doing what South Dakota loves to do, which is like to take a lot of time off the clock and try to run down the play clock because they have a big lead, a 24-point lead at this moment. So though they go no huddle, don't expect them to snap the ball too early.
Have you ever seen a possession span 9.5 minutes without points? Because that's what USD just did here in the heart of the third quarter. And Gilman will pick up the first. Now, don't forget, next week's college football playoff first-round matchups are set. Bama at Oklahoma, the Palace on the Prairie. That is a Friday night primetime matchup. ABC, ESPN. Then on Saturday, a 3-pack of games. Miami heads down to College Station. Battle the fighting Texas Aggies. Tulane and Ole Miss in a rematch at 3:30 on TNT and HBO Max. JMU on the road at Autzen Stadium in primetime late Saturday night. Four fingers are up in Missoula, and the score at 31-7. Montana with the advantage. 15 minutes to go. We'll be back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
We're back in Missoula, Montana with a lead 31-7. Bobby Hauck joins me now. Coach, your team has been in control through 3 quarters. How did they close it out?
Right, in control is good. Be good to go get points here. But our defense is playing well enough. It's going to be uphill for those guys.
Thanks for the time.
All right, Taylor, thank you.
You know, Sam, it was interesting watching their walkthrough / practice yesterday. And we mentioned to Coach Hauck, that was a very precise, well-oiled machine kind of situation with what they presented to us. We said that to Coach, and he said, yeah, that's how it should be. I mean, he is just fully locked in, dialed in, and no stone has been left unturned getting ready for this game, and it shows on the scoreboard.
There's a culture here at Montana, and you look at the body types of players, you don't see a lot of receivers who are 6'4" or 350-pound linemen, but they play a physical type of way.
15 minutes ago, Montana State awaits the winner of this game so far. Advantage Grizz. Deep ball Wortham. Spinning, catching, scoring. And a couple of dance moves to finish it off. And here come the Grizz. Look out, Bozeman.
For a guy who didn't play receiver, that man looked nice.
Nice indeed, his second touchdown grab. And the 10th of the season. 38-7.
Started with the motion out of the backfield for the all-purpose quarterback, running back, receiver, big playmaker. Turns, finds the ball, finds the end zone, finds a score.
Michael Wortham, a career high 177 yards receiving. And this last one from 53 yards out, Sam.
He just lulls you to sleep. Anytime a fast receiver comes off the ball slow, watch out, because they're either going to run right by you or they're going to go side to side, and he has the speed to do both.
Now, so many weapons for this Montana offense. And you see the all-purpose yards today. New career high receiving, 32 rushing, 25 via the return game, and over 200 yards total.
This quarterback, Kali Ayat, has to be happy because you have weapons like that. You can hand it to them, you can throw it out to the flat, you can throw it over the top of their head, and then also, you don't even have to be on the field. Just let them kick the ball to Wortham, and they'll score on a kick return.
Well, you start to look ahead towards next week, and Montana State awaits the winner of this matchup between the Grizz and the Coyotes. And you go back to the first matchup, November 22nd. It was the Bobcats trailing 21-17 late in the third quarter. Caden Dowler had the 34-yard pick six. Then there was a blocked field goal that could have tied it up. And then the icing on the cake, Justin Lamson, transfer from Stanford, 23-yard scoring run. And the Great Divide Trophy, as another false start penalty will be incurred by the Coyotes.
False start, number 75, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That is the sixth time today that's happened. That should mean free pizza for the entire Treasure State later today, according to what we're seeing down on the signage here. But that trophy, 306 pounds, the Great Divide Trophy. And you know it means a lot in this state when those two teams collide. They're on another collision course after what we've seen today. And Reed Watkins across the middle on the slant will pick up 16.
This Montana team, they feel like they should have won that game. They said if it weren't for that tipped ball that was a pick six and the blocked field goal, they said if they would have had one more possession at the end of the game, Montana State ran the clock out, they said they could have scored. But shout out, kudos to Montana State, won last night, and now they get a chance to host a rematch, potentially, if this game ends with a Grizz win.
Well, and the difference there is that game was here, the friendly confines. Next week in Bozeman, an entirely different story. Bauman will buy some time, and Watkins sees it fall right in front of him, incomplete. The point of the matter is, too, with the entire bracket, when North Dakota State went down last week in the Fargo Dome to Illinois State, that crazy comeback, you start to feel like, okay, if you're a top seed, you're not in the driver's seat, so to speak, but you feel like the bracket kind of opened up a little bit. No North Dakota State, no South Dakota State. If you're Montana and Montana State, you're thinking, okay, we got a great chance this year. 3rd and 4. Pressure, Bauman. And the fastball incomplete to Tyson Bose.
We're talking to head coach of Montana, Bobby Hauck, yesterday, and he said even with the loss to Montana State, it had them lower in the seeding in the bracket, but they feel like this is the toughest bracket. So if they can come out of this bracket, they like their chances to win a championship.
Second stint for Bobby Hauck here. 4th down and 4. Coyotes gotta get it. And Bauman Martens with the grab on the slant, needed 4. He'll gain 5. And Martens still running. He'll take it the distance, and let's see what happened. Martens, did he ever make clear contact with the turf?
Ruling on the field, the runner was knocked down. Touchdown.
Great awareness.
And let's see what happened.
Great awareness by Martin. Start with Bauman. He saw the coverage, so he knew the inside route would be open. Martens gets tackled, but no part of his body hits the ground.
Ruling on the field with touchdowns under further review.
Well, for a moment you wondered, was his forward progress halted? Let's check in with our rules expert, Jerry McGinn. Jerry, it looked like that maybe he avoided full contact with the ground. What did you see?
Well, possibly his left arm is down. Replay is going to look at that. The ruling on the field was that he wasn't down. I would have thought that the officials would have said that forward progress was stopped, which it really appeared like it was, and the defense had completely stopped. So, but they didn't. So hopefully replay can see that the arm is down, and then they'll bring it back, because this doesn't look good.
So if the arm is not down, Jerry, and there was
the arm
no
is
whistle,
not down, no whistle, then it's a touchdown.
Because the hand is allowed to be down, but the forearm isn't. Forearm might be.
It really appears that that arm is, and we do have a good look at it. That's what it's going to come down to.
Critical component, right?
Excuse me.
The forearm would be the critical component if that made full contact with the turf.
If that touches the turf, he's done. He's down, and I think we have a great shot at it right there where it does skim the top of the turf, and that would put him down. Now they'll take a long look at this, because the ruling was a touchdown. So they would have to have indisputable video evidence that it's not, but I believe we do.
To your point, Jerry, it has to be clear and obvious.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Runner did not have a body part down. It is a touchdown.
Your point about clear and obvious, I felt like that was not the case in those final 2 or 3 frames with the arm.
And I just go back to the idea of forward progress as well. You could tell the defense stopped. Number 15, Martens, he kind of stopped for a second as well.
4th touchdown of the season for Jack Martens. And USD hanging on by a thread. Extra point is good, 38-14. And Martens found a way from 69 yards out.
Time on the field.
The most reliable receiver on the team, but he's also aware. He gets up, no one tackles him, he keeps on going, gets great blocks. 14-38.
And we cannot wait. What a scene it will be beginning Friday night in prime time from Norman. Back here in Missoula as our quarterfinal coverage continues for the FCS playoffs. And after a wild sequence, Jack Martens scores a 69-yard touchdown on 4th and 4. Coyotes now trailing 38-14. Still a lot of time left, and you wonder, is an onside kick coming?
The way the ball is placed, it doesn't look like an onside kick is coming, but we'll talk about playing until the echo of the whistle. There was no whistle on that Martens play, and so touchdown it is.
Did you think the arm was down at that moment?
I didn't think the arm was down, but I thought that he was stopped.
Forward progress.
Correct.
Yeah. There's the onside kick. Chip beautifully. Ball squirts out. Who's got it? Still on the turf. And the Coyotes believe they have an onside kick recovery. The ball bounced around for an eternity there. And the Grizz say they somehow grabbed it, and they did.
Well,
illegal touching, kicking team. Ball be placed in the spot of the touch, first down.
It's got to go 10 yards, and I don't believe it did.
That's exactly right, Roy. So the ball has to cross 10 yards before being touched by the kicking team. It wasn't. South Dakota touched it before it went 10 yards. But I love that idea of a surprise onside kick. It wasn't a lineup like it's going to be an onside kick. It's a surprise. Let's see. The ball seems as if it goes about 9 yards, and it's touched at 9. It has to be 10, and that's where that illegal touching comes into play.
Yeah, Ashton Payne sliding right across the threshold, clearly before the ball traveled 10 yards. It was right at 9, maybe 9.5. And the penalty negates any recovery by the kicking team. Well, Montana has it. They'll fake it to Gilman. Ayat. Dangerous throw, looking for Wortham. And it's incomplete.
So you're always taught in football to play until not just the whistle, the echo of the whistle. Well, Jack Martens, number 15, he catches the ball 4th and 4. He's not tackled. Lorenzo Fenner, number 1, he sees it as well. He says, all right, my guy's still going, I'm going. Watch him get this block right there. That's going to spring not just a first down, but a touchdown. So lesson learned for anyone who plays football. play until the echo of the whistle.
Reminded me of that sequence between North Texas and Arkansas. They deked the punt returner. They thought he called for a fair catch, and he just walked casually for a step or two, and then he took off. That's exactly what Martens did. Mo Newsom and Patrick Matten had something to say between each other. Montana O-line and the USD front four.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 76, offense, unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty that now counts, 3rd down.
So because that happened after play had concluded, Matten rushed off. Bobby Houck didn't like it.
And as crazy as it sounds, that onside kick that wasn't recovered, now it seems as if it's going to South Dakota's favor. Montana's going backwards. The clock stopped on some of these penalties. Now it's running again. Now the ball's been spotted, but so far advantage in this last little series for South Dakota.
Retreating a yacht. They'll set up the screen. And Rocker heads to the 48, and that's it. So on 3rd and 24. That'll make it 4th and 19.
So they practice this situation in the walkthrough with the punt team going on, and I believe this is a bleed situation. The punt team's going to want to bleed that clock down to get all the way down to about 10 seconds or less, and then you start your cadence. When you're up by 24, you want to run down as much time as possible. So let's see if they focus on that time here.
Bobby Houck was actually yelling out the time on the countdown yesterday at practice. And wouldn't you know, they snap it with about 2 seconds left. And a fair catch made at the 8. Don't forget, coming up later tonight following our game here on ABC and the ESPN app, Gotham is the place to be at New York City. The 91st annual Heisman Trophy ceremony. The finalists, well, you know them by now. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, and the quarterback at The Ohio State University, Julian Sayin. We will find out who takes home the hardware later tonight, 7 o'clock start on ABC.
Jeremiah Smith was 6th in the Heisman voting, didn't win the Bolindikoff. How crazy is that?
Pass incomplete to Jesse Miller. Yeah, Jeremiah Smith, Jacob Rodriguez was another player we thought could get the invitation to the Big Apple. Didn't happen for either play. Rodriguez, the Texas Tech linebacker, the all-universe mustache, and the turnover machine. 2nd and 10.
So the game has changed, not just because of the score, but because of who's unavailable. LJ Phillips, the star running back from South Dakota, is out with an injury. And so now it's going to be a lot more pass game for the offense. Montana defensively has to understand it's a different style now.
Handoff to Carson Fletcher. Remember, LJ Phillips banged up. Will not see the field for the duration of this quarterfinal game. Was injured to start the 2nd half, and a 5-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 4 here.
The reason the game changes as well is because of the time on the clock. As slow as South Dakota may want to go, they'll need to start speeding it up soon if they want to get back in the game.
And Phillips disappointing afternoon. The nation's leading rusher. Pressure through the A-gap. It's picked up for a moment. Bauman found a way to complete the pass. Fletcher's got the 1st down and a little bit more. You know, the savviness of the 6th-year senior, Aiden Bauman. He'll pick up 15. The pressure came from Wilkinson.
So Diesel Wilkinson, the nickel's going to blitz up the middle. There's going to be a linebacker blitz as well. Bauman takes a step back, has enough patience to get the ball to replace where that blitz comes from, right up the middle of the field. So that has to be the formula for South Dakota. Anytime Montana blitzes, you replace it.
Trailing by 24. Bauman with pressure, floats it. And looking for Fenner. It's incomplete. Clay Oven came crashing in. First time today we've called his name, and Bauman ate the turf.
See, he's frustrated because he understands the pressure is coming, but number one, the stud receiver, Lorenzo Fenner, has to get his eyes turned around even quicker. When a team blitzes, everything speeds up just a little bit. So that communication has to be extended, not just the quarterback position or offensive line, but for the receivers as well.
Well, Montana's given up 14 points today, but it has been a massive struggle for South Dakota's offense. Comes a flag. Bauman, man-to-man coverage, and incomplete. Jack Martens, the intended receiver. TJ Roush is on top of him. And this is an offsides penalty against the Grizz.
Offside. Defense. Defense. Offside. Number 47. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Kellen Dietrich. So instead of potential 3rd down and 10, 2nd and 5.
South Dakota's tried to attack some of the corners on the outside. It hasn't worked. I think the middle of the field is what's been more open for South Dakota.
Fenner does have man-to-man coverage. Now on the comeback, here comes a late penalty flag. Tyson Bose. There was some uniform restriction there as he tried to break free on the crossing pattern.
Eligible receiver downfield, number 83. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And instead it's Jesse Miller.
So he's frustrated because he's saying, man, I was off the ball, I wasn't covered up. But if he was covered up, that'd be what we call an unbalanced formation, and meaning he wouldn't be able to go down the field. So he's pointing back saying, hey, officials, I was off the ball, but it seems as if they didn't get that message.
Yeah, Travis Johansson echoing your sentiments there. 2nd and 10. Bauman. And Bose able to break loose to the 45. And on 2nd and 10, he'll gain 15.
With as much pressure, Roy, as Montana's bringing, if one of the receivers for South Dakota could make one person miss, all of a sudden it can turn from a 6-yard play to a 60-yard play. So that's what has happened. Ball can come out quick. Somebody's got to make a man miss.
Another methodical drive for the Coyotes. And Watkins will gain 9. And for a team that doesn't really like to go fast, that has been work in progress, attempting this comeback. Team out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference back to work. And Bauman needed a yard. He'll gain 3, maybe 4 to pick up the first down.
Yeah, they don't like to go fast, Roy, but they need to go fast. There's less than 10 minutes left on the clock. You're down by 3 scores, 3 touchdowns, and 3 two-point conversions. So you have to turn up the tempo, and you have to do it now.
I believe you were saying that as well in the 3rd quarter. I kept asking you about it, and they just can't really find that extra gear. Can they do it here? Bauman heaves one deep. And Fenner watches that one sail away and out of bounds.
Montana understands that Lorenzo Fenner is the premium #1 target, so they'll show man, but they'll actually put a 2nd guy on top of it. They'll go into a zone defense at times as well. That's why it's been so difficult for South Dakota to get the ball to Fenner, who has 15 touchdowns on the season.
Home field advantage has been significant today. All the false start penalties, the decibel level, and that defense for the Grizz. Did we mention the false starts? And it was Sam Coles that time.
Full start. Number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's a 7th false start so far this game for South Dakota. And it's not just on 3rd down. Like, the crowd is making noise on 1st down, and on 2nd down, it's the entire game. And so for an offense, you have to understand, hold your water, stay patient. And as a defense, keep on getting the crowd back into it.
Well, Bauman has changed the play at the line of scrimmage several times. I'm not sure his offense hurt him. Fletcher's got it.
Pass complete.
2nd and 15. He'll get to the 35. That'll make it 3rd and 3.
And Montana, as much as they're giving up a bunch of yards, they don't mind because the clock is just ticking and ticking and ticking.
Trailing by 24. Does Bauman want to take a shot? He will. Hand fighting, and there is a flag. Javion Phillips got spun around, and pass interference coming.
Pass interference, number 6, defense. Ball we place the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That was Prince Ford, the Illinois transfer.
Notice how quickly number 8 gets his eyes back to the quarterback. And so you're seeing the hand fighting, the holding, the grabbing on Javion Phillips by Prince Ford.
Really the first time today that Phelps has been targeted, has only 7 receptions this year.
Correction, 15 yards, first down.
From South Dakota, I go right back to it.
10th play of the drive. Remember, USD had a 9.5-minute drive in the 3rd quarter that ended without points. Here comes the heat. Bauman. And Zach Whitty broke free for a moment. Bauman had to get rid of it. Lusky was right there. And he's never had a chance to set his feet really and try to deliver an accurate strike.
Been so much pressure right up the middle, and so most of the passes you see Aiden Bauman throw, he's fading away, which makes it more difficult for receivers because there's not going to be a lot of zip on the ball.
Sam, it's as loud as it's been all game. And again, man-to-man coverage towards that front pylon. Was it caught? It was. Tyson Bose. Bauman had to throw that football before Bose was anywhere close towards the goal line.
So Tyson Bose knows the pressure's coming. He turns around, locates the ball, and snatches it away to make sure to see the defenders trying to grab it. TJ Roush and unable to get it away from him.
So the 20-yard touchdown strike makes it 38-20, and now a 2-point conversion coming. That drive spanning more than 3.5 minutes. They convert here, it becomes a 2-score affair.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
From 7 to 8.
This is critical too because you practice 2-point plays all the time, but you don't practice them from the 8-yard line. So those 5 yards in this situation makes it that much more difficult because you don't have a litany of plays that you've practiced at this down and distance.
To make it a 2-score game, Bauman surveys, delivers, and it's caught in the back of the end zone. Tyson Bose, an 8-point possession for number 6.
Time on the field.
Tyson Bose finds the middle of the end zone. Hayden Bauman, his quarterback, stays patient, looks off the DBs. All of a sudden, we got a 2-score game.
Well, it was just 5 minutes ago. It felt like this game perhaps had reached its early conclusion. Then 4th down and 4. 69-yard touchdown strike. Touchdown and a 2-point conversion later. And Travis Johansson, the head coach on your left for USD. His team is right back in it against Bobby Houck and the Montana Grizz. Trailing by 2 scores. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Let's see if another onside kick is coming. They'll pooch it into no man's land. A bobble. And down goes Drew Deck. But moments ago, it was the touchdown and the 2-point conversion that got it done. Tyson Bose found a way, Sam.
The ball has been floating up in the air because of the pressure. So Bose hurries and finds the ball. Then the 2-point conversion, just the patience by Bauman to look off the safeties and then let the route develop.
So a combined 15 plays equating to 15 points. Nearly 170 total yards. USD is back in this thing with 8:41 to go and all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute stoppage still to come. Wortham motions out. Hands it off to Gilman. Gilman's going to be tripped up. And Sam, it feels like USD for the first time today with clear momentum.
And they're finally getting points on offense, which gives their defense more confidence as well. The defense knows that this should be a what we call a 4-minute type of offense. They're going to try to run the ball. So you can put 3-4 defensive linemen in there and know that if you stop them, all of a sudden you score, you have timeouts left, and you're back in this game.
Mo Newsom stopped him for a gain of 1. Let's see how aggressive the Montana Grizzlies want to be here. And at what point will USD start to think about using its timeouts? Fake it to Gilman. Wortham a little shake and bake. Dragged down from behind. Here comes a flag, and was that a horse collar?
Personal foul, face mask number 3, defense, 15-yard penalty and automatic, 1st down.
Costly mistake by Gabe Hardman.
Hardman's their Mike linebacker, one of the leaders of the team. In situations like these, the last thing you can afford as a defense is a silly penalty. I understand you're fighting, you're trying to tackle, but you have to be able to tackle clean because the clock is not on your side.
13 penalties against South Dakota. And the 1st down as a result moves the football to the 35. Eli Gilman earlier in this game scored his 20th touchdown this year. Picks up 4 yards and was sent down by Matt Walsh.
And that's when if I'm Travis Johansson, the head coach of South Dakota, I'm thinking about using some of my timeouts because you can tell Ayat's going to wait until about 5 seconds left, snap the ball. You need a stop on defense if you want to get a chance to get 2 scores, not just 1.
All of the false start penalties. Hardman moments ago grabbing the back of the jersey, then reaching around with the face mask penalty. Too much to overcome thus far. Gilman stopped at the line. It was Walsh. So back-to-back tackles for number 13 for USD. And the all-important 3rd down coming quickly.
And Johansson he keeps on peeking up to the clock and saying, okay, how much time do we have left? You don't want to use the timeout now. You want to get a stop and keep those because you have them in a 3rd and long.
And as quiet as this stadium has been all game for 3rd and 7. There is Wortham. Across the middle of the field. There he is. There's the first. Michael Wortham. A career game on full display once again.
not only a career game, but now with this little whip route that you saw, Michael Wortham is now the all-time leader for Montana when it comes to all-purpose yards. Call it a whip route. He's slow off the ball. He comes inside. He whips back outside. But now over 250 all-purpose yards today, has him past Mark Mariani from 2008 for the record for Montana for all-purpose yards.
That catch and run now, 200 yards receiving in one game. I think he'll be on the scouting report potentially next week in Bozeman. Still with work to do to try to close this one out. Gilman, stop and a start to the 40, and that's it with Chris Dixon ready and waiting.
And what's worse for South Dakota is the fact that the clock ticks even more. That was a third down. Now first down, you got to imagine about 2 or so minutes going to run off again. So now all of a sudden, everything gets compressed. You still have your timeout, so I understand Johansson, he's decided to keep them. But if your defense isn't stopping Montana offensively, those timeouts don't help you.
There is no stopping Michael Wortham. I want to welcome those that perhaps have tuned in after Navy rally to defeat Army moments ago. Here in quarterfinal action in Missoula. Brooks Davis. There's no flag on the field. R.J. Stewart step for step on the speedy freshman.
Step for step. He also might have been a little grab for grab. R.J. Stewart doesn't get called on this, and there was a little bit of a restriction, but it wasn't called.
He turned around at least, right? That
disguises things beforehand.
He did. I agree.
But the referees, this officiating crew has allowed the kids to play.
Brooks Davis, some encouragement from his head coach. Bobby Houck now 150 wins in 2 stints here at Montana, his alma mater. Graduate back in 1988. A yacht with time to come back through debt. And the first touchdown of the game earlier. And a penalty flag is down.
It's going to be a holding.
Holding, number 79, offense, 10-yard penalty, third down.
It was Liam Brown, the left guard.
And the problem with that play is that the previous play was an incomplete pass, so the clock stops. You're going to see Liam Brown, number 79, get called for the hold after the blitzing linebacker. But now the clock stops again. And so now all of a sudden, South Dakota didn't have to use those timeouts because that first clock stoppage from the incomplete pass.
So the clock continues to run on 3rd and 20. A big penalty against the Grizz. Gilman in the backfield. A yacht back to the air. Wortham on what is a trick play back to Gilman. And Gilman racing ahead. Past the line to gain. It's a first down. Tell me if you've seen that play before.
Well, I saw them do it in walkthrough yesterday. But it wasn't in this situation. It was really on a kickoff return type of situation. They practice this exact play. You throw it over to one side, you throw it back to the other side. It was on that end of game kickoff return situation. But for it to work on a 3rd and 20, it takes a lot of courage and execution.
The football has to go backwards. He's there near the 47 on that toss. It didn't look like it traveled forward.
Correct.
From that angle.
Correct. If it's not forward, then it's backward. Put it that way. If it's lateral, it's backwards, or if it's backwards, it's backwards.
That's a heck of a play.
It is. And great execution. They're going to go back, the officials are going to go back and look at it. But if that ball is lateral down the line, it's considered a backwards pass.
He took that last step before releasing the football. Right at the 46.5-yard line, and it's caught right near the 47, it appears.
And you see the line judge, he has that left hand out saying he's looking to see if that ball's lateral. So he sticks that left hand out to say, hey, it looks like it's lateral to him. And once again, the referees, the officials looking for it to be clearly and obviously forward. To me, it's not clearly and obviously forward for them to overturn that call.
You were right. You see that kind of play sometimes on those tricky kick returns where you're out of time. You have to find a way to go 80 yards. I don't know that I've ever seen it on 3rd and 20 with a 16-point lead, trying to milk the clock. And remember, too, you mentioned it, Wortham, a former quarterback. That's in his arsenal in a very creative way to use his skill set.
But that play's not on Wortham. That play's on Gilman, the receiver. They have to make sure that they're behind whoever's the passer of the football. So, number one, it is execution. But even as a quarterback, Eli Gilman, number 10, has to make sure, it's his job to make sure he's behind the passer so that ball doesn't even have a chance to go forward.
Wortham threw it 35 yards there.
He's a former quarterback. I get it. My point is the fact that if you're the person receiving that ball and you're a little bit forward, then the quarterback's going to throw it to you, and it's going to be ruled an ineligible forward pass.
It was 3rd and 20. The play picks up 21.
After further review, the ruling on the field, a backwards pass is upheld. It'll be first down, Montana at the 29-yard line. South Dakota will be charged a timeout for the challenge on the field. They have no more challenges remaining.
Well, if you are some enterprising offensive play caller in America today, watching that sequence, consider adding that one into your playbook. That was magnificent.
Yeah, we've seen Kansas City and Travis Kelce run that play before, so they're taking some stuff out of the NFL playbook.
Dynamic and fun for Bobby Houck. He told us they may have a trick or two up their sleeve. Some tricks and treats in December. Play action, a yacht. Wide open is Gale. Gale inbounds. And tiptoes to the 10. Gain of 20 yards. It'll be 1st and goal.
So in addition to the clock running, South Dakota and Travis Johansson, they challenged that play, so they lost the timeout. So now all of a sudden, instead of 3 timeouts to try to stop the offense, now you have 2. So not only are they in scoring position, but you can't stop the clock as often as you would have hoped.
38-22. Montana really hasn't slowed it down all that much. They're taking their time in between snaps, but a yacht has gone to the air more times than not. Gilman will be corralled deep in the backfield. Niall Dickel in a loss of 2.
Second charge
so far today in the red zone, and here comes the timeout.
30 seconds.
Now there is one more quarterfinal game underway after we saw the comeback by Villanova at Tarleton State earlier this afternoon. And currently the Redbirds with a 21-17 lead against the 8th seed UC Davis. A consistent theme we've seen throughout this year's bracket, the 24 teams that started the field. Upsets. North Dakota State, the 1 seed, out. South Dakota State lost in a convincing way last week here on the road. Not an upset there, but Villanova in comeback fashion at Tarleton State. The Tarleton State team that upset Army at West Point way back in week 1 this season. Wortham steps back in as a Wildcat quarterback. Off the zone read, he'll keep it. Wortham. Michael Wortham, why not? Racing into the end zone, and he does it again. 2 through the air, 1 on the ground, and a record-setting career day continues.
You know, like an offense, they design plays where the ball's supposed to go. It feels like there's just 11 different lines on where this ball's supposed to go. Michael Wortham, the ball's supposed to go back on the inside, but he knows he has the speed to outrun everybody. He did that on the first play of the game as well. If you're a defender trying to defend Michael Wortham of Montana, all 11 players not only have to be in their gaps, but they better be able to have extreme speed to be able to catch number 6.
3 rushes, 43 yards, and the touchdown. 11 receptions, 201 yards, and 2 touchdowns. If you are a defender for the Coyotes, for the Bobcats next week, good luck.
New all-time record holder for Montana. And he's done it with a chip on his shoulder. Taylor got a chance to talk with him earlier this week, and just the amount of respect that he has for the game then he shows it on tape as well.
And remember, too, he's a married man. His wife, Maria, in the house tonight. His daughter, Malia, also watching Dad do his thing in the lead now at 45-22. And the Coyotes out of time on this attempted comeback. And Montana's 3-0 record against the Missouri Valley Football Conference this year. The verge of improving to 4-0. Braden White bottled up near the 25. Well, don't forget, coming up top of the hour, the 4 Heisman Trophy finalists are in the house in New York City. The Heisman Trophy ceremony following our game here on ABC and the ESPN app, the 91st edition. The finalists: Jeremiah Love, Fernando Mendoza, Diego Pavia, Julian Sayin. Good-looking group there, Sam.
Diego Pavia looks smooth. He got some swag to him, man. I like that guy.
The story he's been in, and now Fernando Mania. So much fun to watch both of those quarterbacks. Well, Aiden Bauman returning to South Dakota this year after being eliminated in the playoffs last year. 10 wins, 2 playoff wins. Sam, they have run into a buzzsaw on the road this afternoon.
Came to this game winning 5 straight after a loss to, in the middle of the season, Southern Illinois. They felt like it was their playoffs, and their playoffs had began. But Montana was too much to handle.
Familiar refrain, retreating with the pressure. Zach Woody was open for a moment. Front 4 we've seen for the Grizz today, whether it's Hunter Peck, Kellen Dietrich, Clay Oven, Julio Pupu, Jared Ramos, the whole cast of characters. That base alignment many times looks like an odd man front. The ball snapped, there will be 5, maybe 6 players in attack mode. Off the twist, Bauman. Intercepted. Sliding down is Peyton Wing. The turnover is 4th pick of the season. And the Portland State transfer with the exclamation point
Ruling on the
here
field.
in Missoula.
There's an interception by the defense.
Or you started naming off some of the players on defense. I thought you were going to start naming some of the fans too, because the crowd has been outstanding. There was a corner blitz on that play, and that corner blitz leads quarterback Adam Bauman just to throw the ball up in the air, and linebacker Peyton Wing, who's been in the backfield as a blitzer and now an interceptor. He's 21 on the season for this Montana Grizz team. And man, this environment, along with that defense, along with Wortham, played unbelievable.
In at quarterback is Jake Jensen. And the deep gift to Machine Jones. I mean, you had Kathy from Billings that was making a lot of noise across the way. And, you know, Bill from Great Falls, perhaps. And, you know, there's other spots where we've heard from the fan base for the Grizz. They have been awfully impressive. 2-minute timeout here in Missoula. And we've talked about it early and often. This crowd from the jump, Sam Acho, has been, well, loud, proud, and absolutely on fire. All the false start penalties we've talked about. The home field advantage in play today, not so much a week from today. About a 3-hour trek down Interstate 90 in Bozeman, where the Bobcats await in the semifinal. The winner of that game advancing to Nashville in the FCS National Championship on January 5th.
Jones with the carry.
After the 2-minute timeout, Montana in firm control. Its backup quarterback on the field, Jake Jensen, the transfer from USC. And the story today, that defense and Michael Wortham.
We talked about it. Wortham with 1,313 total all-purpose yards this season, a new record for Montana. But man, going to next week's game, the rematch of the Brawl of the Wild, that guy, number 6, is going to have to play a huge part if they want to win this time around.
Great rivalry. We showed you the 306-pound Great Divide Trophy. It was awarded to the Bobcats in this stadium just last month. And that really is stuck in the craw of Bobby Houck. And, you know, he's talked about it in the press, in local media, that it's felt like that rematch was coming. And now it is. It is going to be quite the scene.
Yeah, Montana State with the victory last night. They're going to be hosting the game next week. And I understand that Bobby Houck is confident and his team is confident. They feel like they should have won that game. But if I'm Montana State, I'm saying, hey, man, y'all got to come through us.
In our house.
In our house.
Handoff, the cutback, Hashim Jones to the end zone. And with 31 seconds left, one last score. Been that kind of game as the sun begins to set in Missoula. And on the South Dakota season, advantage Grizz. Last 2 games, Grizzlies have now scored over 100 points combined.
And Hashim Jones, the 6', 208-pound true freshman from Hartford, Connecticut, a player who this coaching staff is extremely excited about, puts the exclamation point on the victory. (52-22). It was a 2-score game about 7 minutes ago until it wasn't. And the party just beginning in Missoula tonight. Work to do next week. A win away from Nashville. And the arch rival stands in the path of the Grizz. Silver nubs one to the up back at the 25. Now, the one thing Bobby Houck told us this week, Michael Wortham, he does everything. He can run it, he can throw it, and he's tough to tackle. We saw that in so many different ways today. Former quarterback who's a kick returner, he can return punts, he can catch passes, he's their leading receiver, he's their second leading rusher, and oh, by the way, he can throw the ball as well. Showing off all the skills.
Pinpoint precision on the backwards pass, the lateral, and the touchdown scamper moments ago. All smiles on that Montana bench. On a balmy afternoon, USD set to kneel it down, and that'll do it. The Montana Grizz to the semifinals next week in Bozeman. 13-1 on the season for the 3 seed and a crushing home victory over South Dakota.
That is the end of the game.
USD season, year 1. Travis Johansson ends at 10-5. Had a chance to mount the comeback in the 4th quarter, and then Michael Wortham and the Grizzlies too hot to handle. Speaking of the star of the show, Taylor Davis with Michael Wortham on the sidelines. Taylor.
Thank you very much, Roy. He just told me how much fun he had in this one. No surprise. 269 all-purpose yards for you today in a 30-point win in the playoffs. What can you say about the offensive execution we saw today?
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it can't get much better than this, you know. I mean, we're hitting on all cylinders. I think we punted one time. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we keep playing like this, you know, it's looking very bright for the future.
I got to go back to that 3rd and 20. We saw a little bit of a trick play from you. Caught it, then hit your guy, Eli Gilman, out there. Walk me through that play.
Oh, man, I mean, we practiced it, since the beginning of the year. So, I mean, for it to hit in this time and playoff time, you know, it's just super special.
You know that this win sets up a rematch. The Brawl of the Wild, obviously, for all the marbles in the FCS playoff semifinals. What can we expect from that rematch?
Our get back for sure. I mean, we owe our fans, we owe ourselves this win. So let's get to this national championship.
Congrats on this win. Go enjoy it with your brothers.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
What a game. What a performance. Taylor, thank you very much. 52-22, our final score here in Missoula. For Sam Acho and Taylor Davis, I'm Roy Philpott saying thanks for watching the FCS playoffs and good evening from Missoula, Montana. Let's get you back to the studio